Hello. I'm really bad at intros, so thank you for clicking on it, and I hope you like this video. I'm nervous. This is me nervous. Some people think I'm not. I'm confident, and I'm not. Really, I'm not. So, I need to stop looking at myself. Hello, let me look at you. Where are my art supplies? So, I have a hard time talking to people, and I've been wanting to talk to people, and then like, you know, we can't be going out and talking to people, and you know, and I have a hard time getting out. Lack of funds, you know, not having a car, just my own mobility. And I recently went on social media because, you know, I wanted to talk to people, so I thought to get out there and talk to people. But I have a hard time connecting with others. I have a hard time just speaking and even replying to people's comments, and I see that I isolate myself. And I've done it because of a past I've had, you know, not being able to trust people, even family. Going on to social media and talking about like having no friends and not being able to trust. So I have a hard time getting past that. That's my hindrance. And I wanted to articulate that I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I do not think I'm better than anyone if I don't reply, and I want to. But sometimes there's this barrier. I can't do it. And I thought to tell people, and I've had a really nice reception to people in that video, and I thought maybe I should go, like, and that made me think maybe I should put something about this on YouTube. But then that went on to the back burner, and I started thinking about, like, why don't I trust people, and why don't I trust my judgment of people anymore? That's what it really comes down to. I've always thought I had a really good judge. I make really good judgments of character. It's hold true for the most part, but there's been a few times where I misjudged people for the worse, and they turned out to be great people. And then the really painful ones where I trusted people and they turned out to be shit. I don't know. So with my past in psoriasis and being bullied, and you know, I didn't have many friends, I didn't want to wallow in that and let myself shut down into that. And starting back at Job Corps when I was 19, I was determined to not be my old self, or, you know, I didn't talk to people and I didn't have any friends besides the few people who were brave enough to get past that. Mean like bitch face, resting bitch face, that's what it is. That resting bitch face I know I have. So I started like, hello, and you know, I'm Vanessa, nice to meet you. Like, because I wanted to be more friendly, and it was really cool to start doing that. I got to reinvent myself at Job Corps. And I will definitely talk about Job Corps if anybody even likes this video. But when I was at Job Corps, no, we're not talking about Job Corps. But yeah, I carried that energy a few years later when I started going to college. It was like my first year in college, and I didn't know anybody. I was just going there on my own at first. And I wanted to have friends. Like, after I went to Job Corps, I disconnected with all my high school friends because I was in Reno. And then when I came back, you know, everybody was in different. I think when I came back from Job Corps, everybody just finished high school or something, and it was a few years before I started college. So I was behind, I guess you could say. But I was 21, 22 going to college when this happened, and I remember my first day of class. A bunch of classmates were in the hallway waiting for the class to start. That's what I figured, and I was right. Because that's just how college is. You know who's waiting for a class and which class it is. So, I walked up to two girls who seemed around my age. They turned out to be freshly out of high school. They knew each other beforehand. I didn't know that. But they were like, I think 18, 19 years old. And I was 22. But, you know, I know I look a little young, so they thought I was around their age. A lot of people were surprised. Like, oh, you're that old? What? Anyways, so I might take all of that out because that's not important. So I just walked up and I'm like, hi, I'm Vanessa. Nice to meet you. And that's how I met my friend Allie, because that's what I'm going to call her. That's not her real name. And Dee. Allie, I'm still friends with. You know, we don't really talk as much as we used to, but that's what happens with best friends. You know, that doesn't mean we're not friends anymore. It just means, you know, life has happened and we're adults now. I mean, we were adults when we met, but we were adults. We're more adults, like, you know, more involved in our days. We don't have as much free time, you know? So, it was pretty cool at first, and I've had really cool instances because of these people, but I decided to confide in Dee that I thought one of our classmates was cute. She, being just out of high school, started acting like a high schooler, teasing me and threatening to tell him and pretending she's gonna go tell him. And I'm just like not good with teasing. And I'm like, no, don't do that, stop, no. And she thought it was hilarious, so she kept doing it. And I started to try not to have strong reactions, but she would get more bold in what she was doing until she got a reaction from me. So, you know, nothing happened. That's me. I don't want to date every guy I happen to think is cute. I didn't date anybody in high school. I didn't have my first boyfriend until I was like 18. I spent almost my whole 20s single. I went like 5-6 years in between relationships. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to date anybody. I couldn't see myself dating him even though I thought he was cute or whatever. So, and because of my psoriasis, I'm not into casual hookups. I'm so anxious about my skin that I can't even feel that way with somebody without a real deep connection. Because I have to be able to be comfortable around the person, to not feel so self-conscious about the psoriasis that covers most of my body. So I just like, I couldn't even imagine. So dating with psoriasis is hard. Maybe I'll tell stories about that because I think that would be fun. I don't want to exaggerate or anything. I hate those story times where they're so obviously exaggerated. Blank, like. So summer break happens, you know, and then fall semester starts, and I see them. Bri, I'm gonna call him, and Dee talking. So, you know, I don't think anything of it, and then afterwards, Dee's like, hey, so do you think it would be cool if, you know, I hooked up and got with, I don't remember the exact words, with, Bri. So, I was like, you know what, I don't care, I don't own him, you know, because I don't feel that because I like somebody, especially since, you know, as I described, I didn't date much, really ever. I don't care. I don't claim ownership over this person. And you know, and she was cool enough to tell me about it first, you know, especially because she gave me so much shit about liking him. So, I've come to realize my liking is different than other people's liking. That's why I said it that way. I think it was like a Friday or something. when she asked me, it wasn't right away. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying the best I can to remember what happened. I'm not trying to portray her as this evil person, but she was wrong. And I probably wouldn't even be telling this story if it stopped right around here, but what she does afterwards is what's really fucked up. But she tells me that, that Monday she saw him and she got with him and, they had sex. I'm like, oh, okay. That's cool. I just can't imagine having sex with anybody that quickly because, my anxieties with intimacy and seeing people, with my psoriasis and everything. Not because I look down on anybody who could do that. I was just surprised, to be honest. And, then I was hanging out with Dee, who's friends with, Allie, who's friends with Dee too. They've known each other from high school. They ended up in not bad terms, but Allie told me that Dee had been screwing around and fucking Bri since for all of summer break when she wasn't talking to me. I guess she felt guilty for not telling me or something and just didn't talk to me much. Unless she did talk to me and it wasn't just much. I honestly don't remember. Either way, it doesn't matter. I shouldn't even mention it. And I just it hit me the wrong way. She really lied to me about a guy. Why didn't you just tell me, hey, I liked him, we exchanged numbers, and then we've been talking all summer. I would not have cared, honestly. Honestly, I don't know how many guys I've liked who've gone on to date one of my friends. I don't care. But he, cause I don't tell people when I like somebody, and I'm like, Oh, and then they get together, and I'm like, oh well, it's not like I know I'm never gonna do anything. Just honestly didn't want to date people at that point. I'm like 22. I knew I would want to be with somebody for long term, and I didn't want to be with anybody long term yet. I just wanted to know, I'm not trying to pass judgment. It's just that this is my way, not the only way, the right way or anything. Okay, so I got mad and I just stopped replying to her. So she sent me a message, and maybe I'll put it here. Basically, it's like, hey, so why aren't you talking to me? I have every right to stop talking to somebody for whatever reason. I don't have to be your friend. And I felt like she was a bad friend. She told me stories in the past of her fucking a friend's boyfriend and then them not being friends, and the multiple stories of her not getting along with girls is her doing fucked up shit to girls. Okay? So I told her I just need to cool my jets and just leave it at that. She's like, well, message me when you want to talk. If it had ended like that and we never spoke again, I would never have thought about it again. Because it's not that big a fucking deal. It really isn't. I don't give a fuck about Bri. I don't. So I don't understand why this girl acted this way. Afterwards, because I started working at the library at the college I was attending. So I was doing work study and going to the college. And I liked working at the college. You basically sit on the computer if you're not putting books away and cleaning up a little bit. Most of the time though, it's like you're sitting at the computer checking people's books out, and if nobody's doing everything and the stuff is clean and you put books away, then you can do your homework. It was great. I'm like, let me do my homework. She comes in and starts whispering and talking shit about me and made me feel really uncomfortable, gave me dirty looks, and started telling multiple people that I'm a shitty person. It was so obviously what she was doing that my coworker, she went up to her and she's like, hey, get your book or leave, because I will have you 86 if you're here just to harass one of the employees. And, you know, she never came back up again. But I don't know if we just happened to use the same library. You know, we happened to live in the same area. I mean, we went to the same college. You know, she's not going to live across town if we're going to the same college campus. You know, so I was surprised. I was just minding my own business at the library. I have attended since I was a child. That's my neighborhood in Las Vegas. I don't live that side of town anymore. But, you know, I love the Sunrise Library. It's not the best library in Vegas, but I love the Sunrise Library. She comes in, and I remember I was in this aisle that only comes up to, like, well, up to me it's here. I'm short, so. And I'm looking through it, and then somebody I've never seen before, these two somebodies, fucking bitch, fat bitch. I'm like, what the fuck? Did I just hear like whispering as they're passing by? At first I just heard words, you know, so I don't know what they said at first. But I heard a voice, and I'm like, what? And then it happened again, and it was like, fat bitch. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then this other person, because it was a guy and a girl. One said fat bitch, and you know, I don't remember what else, but I remember they said fat bitch, because I was just like, what the fuck? I've never had anybody like in the library harass me for no reason. And then I was just like, whatever. I didn't do anything about it, because I was just like, I just honestly didn't know what to do. And when I was walking around, who do I see? These two people who were saying fucking bitch, you know, cunt. Yeah, they said cunt. And I don't remember what else. But they were saying mean shit. And it just surprised me, made my heart beat. Because, you know, I've been beat up. I've been, you know, in many fights. I've been bullied my whole life. So it just, like, my heart was beating. And it, like, kind of scared me. Because it was just these two random strangers. But who do I see these two people talking to? But D. It made me so mad. It made me so mad. Oh. I was so mad, right? And I walked up to her and I was like, you're a pathetic piece of shit, and you're lucky we're at the library. I would kick your ass. And then I walked out. Because I was with my mom. But me and my mom go our separate ways when we go to the library. So, because we're both readers. No, ma'am. And I thought that would be the end of it, you know? And, like, of course, I went onto my social media to post about it because it made me mad. It scared me at first. It was harassment. I'm allowed to talk shit about it. I'm allowed to talk shit about her for doing that to me. And then suddenly, like, I get a message. I think it's the same day or maybe the next day. I honestly don't remember. And I'll put the messages here, so like I did before. And yeah, we have this exchange, and it really just, like, it was off-putting. And then that's when I went and like I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So, you know, after I shouldn't have replied back as much as I did, but I did, you know. And, you know, then I blocked her, and then I went and looked everybody with their same name. I just couldn't believe that she had her cousin message me. I cannot believe that she had her cousin send me. Can you believe that? Telling me that I'm the one harassing her cousin after she harassed me at the library, and then went to my Facebook to read my statuses about it. Like, okay, I'm the one who's obsessed. I'm the loser. I'm the pathetic one who needs a life. Okay. And maybe, like, and this was years ago. I think you could tell by the messages. I think it says up 2011. It's quite a few years ago, you know. But just being harassed so much by someone and that I wasn't even that close to. I didn't even trust that much. And then for her to harass me so long after was just, why don't you just leave me alone? You're the one who screwed me over. Even if my friend Allie was supposedly lying, which I don't think she was. But you admitted to me yourself that, whatever. Even if D was lying, why would you act all this different ways? Wish that was the end, but I bumped into her at the Galleria Mall in Vegas, which is a mall I don't really go to that often anymore. Not at all. And she gave me fucking dirty looks, and I'm like, I cannot believe that this girl gave me all this harassment because I stopped talking to her. That's all I did. I stopped talking to her. And it made me really second guess myself and my judgment too. And cause she did all this stuff. She did not seem like the type of person who would just harass somebody and, mess with them through somebody else's Facebook to harass them. And, I heard there's a couple instances I don't remember because I'm not trying to hold on to them like that. But honestly, I do not see where I was the bad guy. I do not understand why she came after me. Even if Ali was lying and I just stopped talking to her because she started sleeping with a guy I liked. You know what I mean? Even if it was just because I stopped talking to her because of a guy, there was no reason to act that way. And that wasn't. She's the one who tortured me about him. She was the one who fucking, for months, pressured me to go out with this guy and gave me shit. And then fucked him behind my back, lied to me about it. I didn't cuss her out or anything before. I'm just at a loss of what to do to understand that. And I'm just there's just no logic behind it. That's what I've concluded. And I had to go and block her, and then I blocked her cousin, and then I just looked up anybody with their same last name and blocked them, just in case. Because I just don't want to deal with it. I do not care about Bri enough. I really don't. Can you, I hope I portrayed everything as accurately as my memory. I tried. I really did. I feel stupid. But if you like this, let me know. If you want me to tell more stories like this, stories about my bullying past, not being a bully, but being bullied, my past being bullied. If you want to hear about Job Corps, I have so many stories about Job Corps. Job Corps. And the boys I dated there. Don't date boys at Job Corps. At least not the ones you meet there. It's a bad idea. Bye. Moxie. Say bye, girlfriend. Come here. Moxie says goodbye. Thank you for stopping by.